Okay, so hopefully this sounds good. Um, this is just that was an old clip in the beginning, and hopefully you don't hear my brother. But this is a video about Sony color science, specifically pertaining to the newer generation of cameras, like released 2018 and on. It's like a6400, a7iii, other cameras like that. This might work for older Sony cameras, but I know they updated their uh, color science was like the a7iii and a6400 when they came out, and the colors have actually gotten way better and they're easier to work with in my experience. And yeah, sorry you guys don't really see me and you just see my hand. I'm kind of looking crusty right now, so that is that. Hey. Hopefully I look okay. Hopefully I don't look crusty. This is just me being self-conscious. And yeah, and realize this stuff has to. I'll shave another day. But welcome back, everybody. It's been about 2 weeks. I haven't been consistent. I've kind of just been lazy. I mean, jeez. Today's video is going to be about and now we go into hand modeling because I didn't want to actually sit in front of camera and look at my busted face right now. So I have Cine 2. You could see just how like flat looking it looks. It's definitely not as flat as S-Log 2 in my experience, but this is Michael Amsel's profile. Like his has been like really easy to work with. He uses the Pro Color mode too. So yeah, it just there's like that faded filmic look right out of camera, and it's really easy to grade. Exposure shifting on these because I had an auto ISO. So now we have Cine 4, James Matthews. You tell it's a little more contrasty than Cine 2. You expose the Cine gammas usually with a lower limit of 100 for highlights and the zebras. And then I set my detail to like -7 all the time just because I don't like digital sharpening. If I want to do it, I'll do it in post. Also, my skin's not the best, so it helps smooth out my skin a little bit. And now we have Picture Profile 3, which is S-Log 2. I like to use S-Gam at 3 Cine. I've noticed that that's giving me like the most neutral or like most like natural looking color when I grade it. But this is going to be the most flat, give you the most dynamic range, and expose it for the highlights with the lower limit of 107. I believe it. The video output for it's like 106 according to the Sony manual, and I'll link that below. And the general recommendation with S-Log 2 is to expose it 2 stops over. So it's generally what I do, but I've watched different videos on how to expose it. But I don't know, 2 stops over from the camera exposure meter. Exposure meter has been pretty good, worked out for me so far. Because if you don't expose it properly, there would be a lot of noise in the shadows. And I don't really shoot with it that often because the Sony bitrate and then codec being a 420 8-bit codec or whatever, it just doesn't give you a lot of latitude to stretch the color grade. So you have to really like make sure you get it right in camera so that you can have some like versatility in post to grade it. Now we have Picture Profile 4, which is probably one of my more favorite ones. HLG2 709, that was what the intro clip was that I mentioned before was shot in. And as you can notice, the 709 is more like reds, magentas, like more warm, I guess, red, magenta, and orangish colors, which I just like straight out of camera. And this one has a lower dynamic range than HLG3, so it's gonna have better noise reduction though, so there's that. And it's really easy to grade, and it looks great out of camera too. Like, it just needs a little bit of tweaking, like if I'm lazy. And now we have HLG3 BT 2020, which I've been experimenting more with. I actually really like this one. The thing about HLG3 is that it has a maximum video output of 100%, so compared to the 95% of HLG2, it actually is slightly more dynamic range. It's also pretty easy to grade, and you can use either BT 2020 or 709, but if you use BT 2020, I know Premiere Pro will convert that to 709 automatically, but I think in DaVinci and Final Cut, you have to convert that color space to 709, but I don't quote me on that. I'm not sure how that entirely works. If you guys know, please comment below. But yeah, I don't mind how it looks. You could tell it's more yellow green, and the exposure is just shifting because I left it on auto ISO. But yeah, you can notice BT 2020 is more yellow green, 709 is more magenta and reds. Yeah, and so yeah, I think the color mode is really just subjective. So whether you want more reds, magentas, 709 for HLG, or you want more of that yellow greens, BT 2020, but it will get transformed to 709 in post. And just like always, the most important thing is expose for your subject. I know we want to still not clip the highlights if possible, but just expose for your subject, because that's the main thing that matters in the scene. And remember, skin tones around like 50 to 70 IRE. And then yeah, there's tools like zebras, false color, and a histogram are cool for exposure. And I think that is a wrap on this. Hope I didn't like ramble on too much, but thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Stay safe, wash your hands. Peace.